the blocky Horde's midnight march. The sun, a perfectly squared golden orb, dipped below the horizon of Bloxworth, painting the digital sky in hues of tangerine and amethyst. In the valley below, nestled amidst rolling green plains, lay Willow Creek. Its buildings, meticulously crafted from neatly stacked cobblestone and polished spruce planks, exuded a quaint, comforting warmth. This was a builder's paradise, a testament to countless hours of careful design and pixel-perfect placement. One of its most dedicated architects was Alex, a player whose ambition knew no bounds, whose proudest achievement was the towering windmill that dominated the hamlet's skyline, its blocky sails forever catching the digital breeze. Alex had just finished a final inspection of the village's communal farm, ensuring every pumpkin patch was aligned, every carrot perfectly planted. A deep sense of satisfaction settled over them. The air was crisp, filled only with the faint rhythmic clack, clack, clack of the windmill, and the distant soothing ripple of the river. But then, an odd sound began to filter through the night. A low, guttural groan, and another, and then many more, rising in a peculiar, off-key chorus that sent a strange ripple through the otherwise peaceful atmosphere. Through the shimmering, pixelated leaves of the distant Blockwood forest, faint, gangly silhouettes began to emerge. Not the familiar, friendly shapes of wandering livestock or fellow players, exploring the late-night quiet. These figures moved with an unnatural stiffness, their blocky arms outstretched, their heads tilting at unsettling angles. They were the greenskins, as the old tales called them, the strange, wobbly denizens of the untamed wilderness that sometimes, on the rare moonlit night, decided to visit human settlements. Their forms, though blocky and somewhat comical, held an unsettling quality, their vacant, squared eyes staring unblinkingly forward. A flicker of unease, cold and unfamiliar, passed through Alex. Greenskins. They weren't a common sight in Willow Creek, usually sticking to the deep canyons and abandoned mines. But tonight, they were marching. A silent, unyielding wave of them, their numbers growing with alarming speed, their strange groans now a chilling, unified drone. They shambled towards the village, their sole, inexplicable purpose seemingly to... Well, no one really knew what their purpose was, other than to bump into things and make a general nuisance. The thought of their clumsy forms trampling through the carefully tended gardens, or worse, dismantling a beloved structure, filled Alex with a surge of protective determination. Alex sprinted towards the town square, their mind racing. The hamlet had no formal defenses, only the quaint decorative fences separating plots. These wouldn't even slow down a particularly determined block crab, let alone a horde of greenskins. Alex knew what had to be done. It was time to build, not for beauty, but for survival. It was time to show the greenskins that Willow Creek was not to be trifled with. They pulled out their trusty building tool, the block manipulator, a versatile device capable of conjuring bricks from thin air. Cobblestone. That would be the foundation. Alex began rapidly constructing a thick, tall wall around the town's perimeter, their fingers flying across the virtual controls. Click, snap, place. Blocks materialized, stacking themselves with satisfying thuds. The greenskins were getting closer, their peculiar groans now audibly distinct, oddly tuneful in their strangeness. Other players, drawn by the commotion or perhaps just arriving online, began to appear in the square. They looked around, their blocky heads swiveling. Before their eyes, too, landed on the approaching horde. A shared, unspoken understanding passed between them. Without a word, they pulled out their own tools. One player, whose avatar bore the name Fortress Finn, began reinforcing Alex's wall, adding layers of obsidian, making it even sturdier. Another, known only as Dig Deeper, started digging a deep trench just outside the nascent fortifications, hoping to slow the advance. A third, remarkably, began setting up an array of what looked like oversized springboards, bouncy barrages, designed to launch any unwelcome visitors far away. A silent symphony of construction and defense had begun. The first greenskins reached the newly constructed walls. They bumped against the cobblestone, their arms flailing uselessly, their groans turning into frustrated, drawn-out sounds. One managed to climb partially, its wobbly feet scrabbling for purchase, only to be unceremoniously launched by a well-aimed bouncy barrage from Jumpmaster Jet, the mastermind behind the springboards. It soared high into the moonlit sky, a comical, flailing silhouette, before landing with a soft thud far away, seemingly none the worse for wear, but certainly disoriented. But more came. Many more. The original greenskins were joined by heavy blobs, slower but remarkably sturdy creatures that absorbed multiple bounces, and even swift stompers, smaller, faster variants that tried to dart through gaps in the rapidly forming defenses. The sound of their collective groaning filled the night, a bizarre symphony of pixelated menace. The sheer number was overwhelming. Alex moved like a blur, patching breaches in the wall, reinforcing weak points. Their inventory was a whirlwind of materials: stone, wood, even some precious iron blocks for the gates. They deployed stud shooters, little automated turrets that launched harmless, brightly colored studs at the greenskins, which, while not damaging, seemed to disorient them, causing them to spin in circles for a moment before resuming their clumsy charge. Dig Deeper found themselves overwhelmed, forced to retreat behind the walls as the heavy blobs simply lumbered over their newly dug ditches, their immense weight crushing the earthen sides. Jumpmaster Jet redirected their efforts, setting up a series of catapults that launched enormous, squashy pumpkins. The pumpkins, upon impact, would burst into a shower of harmless confetti, but the sheer force would send the greenskins tumbling backwards, giving the defenders precious seconds to regroup and repair. Alex felt a surge of admiration for the ingenious, silent cooperation. Hours seemed to pass in a frantic blur of building, repairing, and strategic placement. The first moon dipped below the horizon, and the second hung high, casting an ethereal glow over the besieged hamlet. The greenskins seemed endless. Just when a wave was repelled, another would emerge from the digital darkness, their collective groans a relentless auditory assault. Then a new, deeper groan rumbled. A truly massive greenskin appeared, easily twice the height of the standard variety, its blocky form a menacing, if still wobbly, silhouette. This was the Colossal Thumper, a legendary nuisance, rarely seen. It moved with slow, deliberate steps, each one causing the ground to tremble, and it seemed utterly impervious to the stud shooters and even the pumpkin catapults. Its goal was clear: the main gate of Willow Creek. Alex felt a cold wave of dread, swiftly replaced by a surge of adrenaline. This was it. The ultimate test. They thought furiously. The thumper was too big to be bounced, too sturdy to be pushed. But what if it could be distracted? Alex noticed a forgotten stack of sparkle bombs in their inventory, typically used for celebratory fireworks. A wild idea sparked in their mind, audacious and perhaps a little silly, but worth a try. They raced to the perimeter, signaling silently to Jumpmaster Jet, who immediately understood the frantic urgency in Alex's posture. Together, they began to rig a massive net of reinforced rope, salvaged from the windmill's spare parts. It was precarious, hastily assembled, but it was their only chance. As the Colossal Thumper reached the gate, raising its massive, clumsy fist, Alex launched the Sparkle Bomb. It soared, arced, and landed squarely on the Thumper's head. Instead of an explosion, there was a brilliant, dazzling bursts of rainbow-colored light, and a shower of shimmering glitter. The thumper froze, its strange, blocky eyes widening in what looked like bewildered fascination. Its grotesque groan hitched, replaced by a low, rumbling sound that might have been confused amusement. This was their moment. Jumpmaster Jet, with uncanny precision, activated their last two bouncy barrages, positioned perfectly. Alex, meanwhile, rushed forward, frantically placing a series of slime blocks directly in the thumper's path. The glitter bomb faded, and the thumper attempted to take another step, seemingly recovered from its sparkle-induced trance. Its massive feet landed on the slime blocks, which, true to their name, were incredibly slippery. The thumper wobbled, its immense balance failing. The simultaneous activation of the bouncy barrages caught it completely off guard. With a final, comical groan, the colossal thumper stumbled, slipped, and then, with an astonishingly slow, deliberate motion, toppled over. It didn't explode or disappear in a flash. Instead, it simply became a massive, harmless pile of wobbly green blocks, its parts gently swaying, as if caught in a perpetual, silent giggle. A wave of quiet relief washed over Alex. The remaining greenskins, as if sensing their leader's peculiar defeat, began to falter. They stopped their incessant groaning, looked around with their vacant eyes, and then, one by one, turned and shambled back towards the forest, disappearing into the digital dawn that was now breaking over Willow Creek. The sun, a perfect glowing yellow square, rose majestically. Its rays bathed the hamlet, illuminating the battered but standing walls, the confetti-strewn ground, and the victorious though weary players. Alex looked at Fortress Finn, Dig Deeper, and Jumpmaster Jet, their blocky avatars standing silently amidst the remnants of the battle. There were no cheers, no triumphant shouts, but a profound sense of shared accomplishment hung in the air. The silent camaraderie was stronger than any spoken word. Willow Creek was safe. Battered, yes, its new defenses slightly askew, and its path scattered with confetti, but its structures remained intact, its windmill still turned, and its spirit, now fortified by an unexpected trial, shone brighter than ever. Alex surveyed the scene, a small triumphant feeling blooming in their pixelated chest. The experience had been intense, but also exhilarating. It was a powerful reminder that even in the most peaceful of digital worlds, challenges could arise, and that creativity, quick thinking, and the silent, unspoken collaboration of a shared purpose were the mightiest tools one could ever possess. With a quiet, satisfied nod, Alex pulled out their block manipulator, ready to start the meticulous work of rebuilding, knowing that Willow Creek and its newfound defenders were ready for anything. The blocky world, after all,